Look at this. Their HP bar. Look at the HP bar. It's smaller, right? So that's what Happy OPBR or Lucci pointed out, is that when you deal damage, 50% of it actually just removes their HP bar. Wow! What's going on, guys? Today we're gonna cover everything about the newest live stream for One Piece Bounty Rush that happened. So of course we have our producers here, Gasso and Tana P. So shout out to them for hosting this as usual. And this time we also got 3 VTubers to join them and talk about the game and play some matches. Of course, the connection ended up screwing up for them, so they didn't play all 5 games, which is lucky for us. So we got the news faster. But we had Sasaki Saku, Yachiru, Kizuku, and Gorgeous. So that was pretty cool. Of course, the 2 producers here. And of course, they were able to clear Challenge Battle with the newest characters, which means we were getting 20 gems. And that is very great news. Also, there's going to be a login reward, and we'll get up to 100 diamonds from logging in, which is very good. And see here, there's a shop. This seems like a shop, so we might be getting a very nice shop for cool rewards, and that is fantastic. Also, 2-time series challenge completion rewards. So apparently we're going to get more rewards from challenge battle, which is great. So hopefully this next challenge battle is a fun one and we're going to get more rewards from it. But of course it's going to be a Shanks fiesta, we can say. Also, if you guys wait till Sunday, there's going to be a new anime episode, and after then we'll get 5 free multis. So if you guys wait till Sunday before pulling, you might get Shanks or Beckman from these free pulls. So guys, if you're hype, that's the best thing to do, honestly, because at least by then you will make the best informed decision. Hey, you will have more diamonds saved up. You will see if you can guarantee him. You will see all the good stuff. And maybe you don't like his kit after all. So just wait. Give it a couple days. If you get him from the free multi after you max him out day 1 or pull him day 1, you might feel like shit, right? So just save up. It will be great. Also, Tanapi, my main man, is giving us 150 gems. During the live stream, it was 100, but then they buffed it to 150, which is fantastic. I'm so excited, especially for my free-to-play account. And first of all, we have our main man, Ben Beckman. Now, guys, I'm more hype about Ben Beckman than Shanks. Now, I love Shanks, don't get me wrong. Shanks, when I see him in the anime, I cry. But Ben Beckman, man, I've been a fan of this guy since day 1, day before 1 even. Yo, if Soul says he's a day 1 fan, I'm a day before 1 fan, all right? Let's keep that in mind. All right, look at this. Man, this is the best scene in all of One Piece. Ototo Ben Beckman. Oh my god, dude. I was literally screaming that when I saw this in Roman's live stream. I was watching the live stream through Roman's stream, and oh my god, I'm so excited. And he is going to be great, guys. So, what does this guy do? Okay, his skill 1 is a long range that will intimidate them. And now we'll talk about what intimidate does, but I think it removes their skills, so they cannot use their skills. So it's kind of like Perona's ghost. Okay, and it also debuffs them with speed. And also nullifies stagger, which is good. And his skill 2 has extra long range. So this might be like Sogeking and Usopp and Zoro. It's insane range with a knockback, which is huge. Knocking back on a defender is very important. And damage dealt will not be affected by the enemy's defense stats. So against Kaido, this could deal damage. Against Robin and against anyone. Like the new Shanks gets a defense buff. And so many great characters get defense buff, so this ignoring that is great. It's not going to deal the most damage probably, but still it's very nice. It will allow you to deal more damage, and nullify stagger for a set period of time is very good. Now I do want to say about the skill 1, it doesn't look like it's going to deal any damage at all, so it's just a ghost thingy. Alright, and his character traits, I love this guy's traits. Alright, so when dealing damage on the 3rd hit of your normals, you knock back an enemy, which is great. His 3rd hit actually has nice range to it, and this is very good to help you against so many of the runners and that will cap. And just in general, knocking back enemies is good. And when attacking an enemy with skill 2, you increase the cooldown of the enemy's skill by 30%. Yes, you hit them with that extra long range skill and suddenly they cannot use their skill, which is so good. This is great on every opponent. I love it. And also increase damage dealt to enemies in intimidate state by 50%. Yes, you get an increased damage dealt and you reduce the cooldown of skill 2 by 15%. So if they're in the intimidate state, you just hit them, you get your skill 2 back so fast. That's so good. That is so good, especially because there's some skill 1 cooldown. We'll talk about that in a bit. So when in the air and you capture treasure, you get 30% DR. Now that's the only damage reduction he gets, but against normals, he gets 80% damage reduction in his treasure area. So yeah, you will take a lot of damage from skills, but normals, they will not affect you that much, especially if you pair this up with Zoan, Grand Line, and um, medals that give you damage reduction. This is going to be great. And reduce the time of status effects inflicted by enemies by 80%. So a flame, incinerate, all that good stuff, you're gonna reduce it. This is so good. This was great on Frankie. This was great on Ulti. This was great on Komamatsu. Now being on him, this is just fantastic overall. I love this. It's such a good thing to have. I mean, the best thing to have would be, of course, nullify these things, but just to have a trait that says nullify would be kind of broken. So just having this trait, you don't have to be on a counter state or anything like that. That's just so good to have. I love this. And it's going to be great against Perorin as well. So when you're in your enemy's treasure area and the treasure gauge is 80% or more, so kind of like Kaido, resist stagger effect, which means you can start attacking when they attack you, which is very good. But also you change knockback to a down effect. And now we're going to talk about Shanks in a bit, but this is great against Shanks because if Shanks doesn't knock you back, he doesn't get attack buffs. So, Ben Beckman, you know, they say, yo, Ben Beckman a counter to Shanks. All I'm saying, you know, hit him with the Zoan and suddenly he's getting damage reduction from greens with normals. Oh, I'm just saying. Anyways, when you knock back an enemy, recover 15% of HP. So that's his main way of healing, is to knock back enemies, which he can do from his skill 2 and with his normals. Also, reduce the cooldown of skill 1 by 15%. So that's great. You get your skill 1 faster, you intimidate them more, and then you get your skill 2 faster by hitting them again and again. So it's a nice cycle. I like this. You know, this is going to be damaging. You know, skills are going to deal a lot of damage to him, but overall, I like this guy's kit. So Ototo and Beckman coming through, man. And so some strategies they suggest for us is someone who can limit attacking options. Look why. Intimidate state, the enemy inflicted with intimidate state cannot use normal attacks and skills. That is great. That's like Perona and kind of like Sugar as well. I love this. This is so good. Like, I don't think many people are realizing that's what intimidate does. So that's great. I'm so happy. And of course, you intimidate your Ben Beckman. Oh, yes. Okay. And so anyways, his skill 2, very long range, and the damage dealt will not be affected by defense, and so it can increase the cooldown of the enemy's skills, which is just beautiful. Okay, also he's a great defense. These are suggestions they have to how to use him because he will reduce normal attacks, and also he changes knockback to a down, which is very good if he's above 80% of the treasure, and he's able to take care of opponents, which is great. However, he will take a lot of damage from enemy skills, which is true because he only has 30% DR against those. However, again, you can put medals and you can put tags to help you with that, right? The Zone Grand Line tags. So during these situations, take advantage of his trait and knock back enemies to recover his HP, right? You can knock back with your skill 2 or your third hit of your normals. Okay, and again, very good overall. I like him. Now take a look at his gameplay. So first of all, his model. Oh my god, how beautiful is this model? How beautiful is this man? He's a beautiful man. He's an intimidating man. That's what the game says. That's not what I'm saying. That's what the game says. All right, so let's take a look at this. All right, so first off, if I'm going to skip the beginning because he actually just uses the normals very, like he just used one hit and stuff like that. Look at that. Third hit, you see that? It has some extra range to it. Just beautiful, which is just beautiful. Look at that. One. Hit us with the 3. Hit us with the 3, boy. Okay, that's the intimidate. See, they're intimidated, and they have this debuff around under them. You can see that debuff. That's very good. That just shows. And look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Knock back, and you heal every time. And now, if he attacks an opponent that is intimidated, he'll get his skill 2 faster. Like now, you can see, boom, he got his skill 2 back because he hit 3 opponents, which 15%, 15%, 15%. That's like what's 45% instantly back, so that's really good. And they have this debuff around them when you use skill 1, so it doesn't deal damage, but they cannot use skills. So oh my god, and look at that, he's gonna get his skill 2 back. So overall, I think this is great. I think this is a great unit. Boom, look at that, snipering, poof. Yo, he's gonna pull up on the block with his own version of the Glock, man. I'm telling you, he's great. I love this. On my free-to-play account, I'm definitely gonna pull for him if there's a guarantee, but not day one. Right, I'm gonna save up to pull for him later. Next, we're getting Film Red Shanks. This guy is my main man. I know everyone loves Shanks. I'm no different. I love Shanks. But, guys, will I be pulling? You guys know I hate EXs. However, there's going to be news onto why I will be pulling tomorrow. So, guys, look forward to that. I know some people will be mad at me, but there's going to be a very solid explanation. And it has something to do with my free-to-play account. All right, so Shanks is here, and this guy is nastily broken. He's like a combination of Roger and Rayleigh. So if you like Roger or Rayleigh, how about both in one? That's even better, somehow. All right, let's take a look. Okay, his skill 1 moves towards the enemies at the long range and then knocks them back. It's exactly like Rayleigh. However, if you're in this red-haired hockey state, which you get by using your skill 2 or getting a perfect dodge, you can even move longer distances. Also, the damage will ignore damage reduction. Now, for someone like Ben Beckman, this is not the biggest deal because you're only removing 30%. Unlike others that will remove much more, because this is a skill. Ben Beckman only does 30% damage reduction. But other opponents that have 100% DR, this just ignores it. That's huge. Now, other characters have had this, but the characters that have had this weren't the most broken characters of all time. So him being broken and having this, just insane. Like, he's going to be good against the new Zephyr. He's going to be good against so many other characters, and he has attack buffs, which makes him good against Kaido. However, I still think Kaido is going to be good against him. So, nullifies Sangre for a set period of time, very good, and acquires attack debuff. So, he debuffs your attack, which is great. This will help him against other attackers. And 2, this is the skill that scares me, man. So, you will start a charge skill that you can move, right? You can move with it, and you will put yourself in your hockey state. The red-haired hockey state. Not just any hockey, the red-haired. None of that Zoro. No. Red-haired hockey state. So when you're in this state, you cannot be targeted by normals. Now, how good is this? Now, this doesn't mean... you cannot be targeted by skills. You can only be targeted with normals. Now, this doesn't mean skills can't attack you. It just means they can't target you. So you can't press on Shanks and teleport to him. You cannot press on him and a skill like Luffy's will do and then hit him on the side, because he cannot be targeted, but only when he's in the state. Now, it's important to keep in mind he's only in the state in skill 2, and for perfect dodge he gets 5 seconds then +2 every time he hits you. So it's not something that he will have forever, but it can make him annoying. You might miss a skill just because it doesn't target him. And he cannot be staggered, which is just insane. And you cannot status affect him. You cannot incinerate him. You cannot Candyman him. You cannot do anything to this guy, which is great. Now, again, remember, he's only going to be in the state when he perfect dodges or while he's holding down skill 2. That being said, he has low cooldowns. It's going to be insane. Anyways, if you let go of the skill, you will attack a small thing. And if you charge it completely, you will get a defense buff and longer range. Now, Ben Beckman ignores defense, and having a defense buff on a attacker is great, but this is insane because he has so much more. So he'll get a defense buff and more range if you charge it. And again, when you're holding it, it's like Roger, but you can move. So you cannot get incinerated, and the only way to stop you is basically to knock you back. But if it's a skill that has to target you to hit, it will not hit, it will not target. So that's just insane. It's just insane. Okay, and his character traits nullify stun, like Roger, but if you nullify it, you heal 15% instead of getting a defense buff. But this guy gets his defense buff by just charging his skill. So it's insane. It's just insane. Now, Roger gets damage reduction while charging the skill, whereas he doesn't. So I'm not saying he's completely better than Roger in every way, shape, or form, but he's also very good. Okay, when performing a perfect dodge, you get your red-haired hockey. Now, the good thing is that dodge abuse does not count as perfect dodge, but if you get a perfect dodge, you will have this. And when you're in the state for 5 seconds, your third hit of your normals will knock back the enemies, which is great. Like, this will help you so much. But again, remember, you have this for 5 seconds. But again, every time you just hit the opponent while you're in the state, you increase the time by 2 seconds. So if you hit the enemy 10 times, that's 20 seconds. So you're going to get a 20-second increase to that timing to this 5 seconds. So it's not a bad thing. It's not like this is not going to be a thing. This is going to be a thing that you have to worry about. So when you see him in this state, if he gets a perfect dodge, you better try to perfect dodge him back. Because if you don't, he's going to be in that state for a long time. So just stay away from this guy, I guess. So yeah. Also, this is the nasty part. When he attacks you, when in the state, he will reduce the max HP by 50% of the damage you deal. Now, what does this mean? According to Happy OPBR or Lucci, this might just mean that if you deal, let's say with Shanks, 10,000 damage, you remove their max HP by 5,000. So let's say they had 30,000 max HP. Let's say you finally build up 25,000 or 30,000 max HP. If he hits you with a skill and deals 10,000 damage, you will reduce your max HP from 30,000 to 25,000. Which is just insane. Like, literally your max HP is going to go down. There's no way to recover that. You cannot just heal that back. That's so insane, right? And I don't know, is that with everything? Like, if you deal like 20,000 damage, you reduce their total HP by 10,000. That will make your teammates kill him much easier. It's just nasty. Also, you're gonna increase this 2 seconds, right? Above 70%, change down to a stagger. So if someone hits you with a skill and you're at full HP, or above 70%, you can just scale back or use your normals because you're not going to fall down. You're just going to get staggered, kind of like Katakuri or the old Shanks. And after receiving damage from an enemy, which is more than 20% of your max HP, recover 30% HP. This is nasty. For those that remember, that's exactly what Roger has. So if you want to deal damage to this guy, you need to deal under 20% of his max HP to deal small damage, or more than 30% so he doesn't heal it back. Right? Because if you deal more than 20, he heals back 30. So if you deal 25% of his HP, he will actually heal 5%. So between 20 to 30% of his HP, you're just going to heal up the guy, which is just disgusting. Again, Roger has this, and now he's going to have this, and he has defense buffs. It's crazy. So when you knock back an enemy, increase attack by 20%. So now the good news is that this guy doesn't have damage increase on his traits. However, he has literally a skill that just says ignore damage reduction. The good news is that it might not be the most damaging skill of all time, right? If we look at Rayleigh's skill, it deals a lot of damage, but not that much. So other than that, it's not like Zephyr and Jozu and Page 1 are completely useless because, again, he only has one skill that ignores damage reduction. Of course, that skill will come back often, but that's a good news. And increase attack by 20% is just insane. Every time you knock back. Now, characters like Beckman in his own state, Kaido in his own treasure area, and Zephyr and Jozu and Page 1, if they're like for Zephyr, for example, if he's alone, he cannot get knocked back. So again, it's not just a complete dub here, right? He can knock back a lot, but if he doesn't if he attacks an opponent that cannot get knocked back, that's good. That's a good thing, okay? So keep that in mind. He's not necessarily only broken because, again, if you knock back the enemy, he gets his attack buff. But if the opponents cannot get knocked back, that's great for you. Or for not great for Shanks and great for the defender. So again, these defenders are not going to be useless. They're still going to be good. And when your team has less treasure secured, you get your skill 1 faster and you get your dodge faster, which is just disgusting because if you're losing, it will help you win. And after you KO an enemy, reduce the cooldown of skill 2 by 30. And this guy's going to KO like crazy and you will recover your HP. Overall, this guy is a monster. He will heal from this. He will heal from getting stunned. It's just nasty. He also heals just by getting hit. So, wow, what a character. Luckily, again, if you have full damage reduction, he's not going to be able to deal much damage to you. So a character like Zephyr still can tank him pretty well. It's just that you need to worry about his skill 1 because every time he lands it, it ignores damage reduction and it will reduce his max health if he's in this red-haired haki state. Okay, so what's the strategy that they recommend? Okay, overall, I'll stop here. You guys can read it. Everything that's been said here, I think I pretty much said. You cannot get status inflicted. Being in that state is so broken, and it's not that hard to be in. Keep hitting while you're in that state, and that's the best thing you can do. Keep attacking again and again and again. And for his skill 1, again, it's like Rayleigh, basically. And if you charge it, you will have more range. And his skill 2, you'll be invincible after attacking it. I don't know when the invincibility starts. I don't think you're invincible, obviously, while you're charging it because they're staggered, they reduce stagger. So I think it's just when you unleash it. So that's when you're invincible, I think. And of course, overall, just a great skill. And he increases on defense if he charges it. And the range is very good. And his normals as well, by the way. We'll take a look at that now from his gameplay. Oh my god. So first off, his model, beautiful model. I love this. And again, they were able to beat Challenge 100. Now look at this. Or Survival 100. So, this is disgusting. Alright, so he's going to do the 1, 2. Okay, can we hit the 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, look at that range on that normal. That was nasty, guys. That was just nasty. Now look at this. You charge this, you KO. Every KO heals you and reduces the cooldown. So you got your skill 2 back. So you KO with your skill 2, you get your skill 2 back. And this is just unleashing the skill immediately. Look at that red around him. That's the red-haired haki state. Alright? So this is just insane. You literally can just hold it and instantly unleash it. That's the crazy part. You don't need to start charging it for a bit and then unleash it. Oh my god, this is just nasty. Now look at that. You can just hold it and then boom. Okay? So overall, great skill. Now let's see the skill 1, please. Dude, the skill 2 is just so much fun. I don't blame her for not trying. But look at that. It's basically like Rayleigh. You teleport and you deal a massive hit. Now, the only hope is that that's not the most damaging skill. Just so that defenders with damage reduction can counter him. But yeah, overall, he can knock back enemies, get attack buffs, but that's not going to matter if they can have 100% damage reduction against him. So overall, I think this unit's broken as fuck, don't get me wrong. But in good news, I don't think he's so bad that nothing can counter him. I think we can get damage reduction counters. But again, he's just insane. I can't say. I can't say. You know, that's maybe my wishful thinking. Overall, he's going to be a menace. He's probably going to be the best attacker in the game. But we're going to have to wait and see. It's too early to say anything. But as you can see, look at these. Look at this. Okay. Let me go back to show you what I mean here. Look at this. Their HP bar. Look at the HP bar. It's smaller. Right, so that's what Happy OPBR or Lucci pointed out, is that when you deal damage, 50% of it actually just removes their HP bar. Wow! Alright guys, that's that for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Crazy Shanks. Alright, peace.